Hi, Peter Hartman here with an introduction to PhD Spinal Servicing. PhD is Personal Health Dynamic. The point of this whole program is your personal health and how you can be more dynamic in it. This is not somebody else's view of what's the best thing for you. This is some various exercises that will hopefully help you to discover what you can do for yourself. Very important, stay pain-free. Anything that hurts, just stop doing it. One of the best parts of this, so you can do it sitting down. Some of us really need to be sitting down a fair bit of the time, and particularly when the back hurts, which for me, pretty common. I get out of bed and I kind of get like this and hobble around the house a little crooked fair bit. I got this curve in my spine, and you know, I get around for a couple minutes and then I'm like, okay, where's that chair? And then I settle in and get some spinal servicing done. I tend to start with a little bit of this. Now what I'm doing here is holding still for my hips down. So I'm fairly widespread. You can see my feet are flat on the floor. And I'm just doing a gentle twisting. Now, some mornings it's like this, and other mornings I'm like, wow, I'm feeling good today, I can go all the way over here, right? Some mornings I really want to get some shoulder movement in more, so I'm doing more of this reach and with the palms down. Now palms down tends to bring more dynamic to the upper spine. Palms up tends to keep it kind of dynamic more in the mid, and both of them are stretching the lumbar spine, which is where I need it. Now if you watch as I stand up, the difference between sitting like this and standing is really not that much. Okay, so this is the basic stance for spinal servicing. The idea again, solid hips. From here down, I'm resisting the movement, largely using my inner thighs down to the inside of my foot, like right there, even under here, what's called by the Chinese traditional medicine, kidney 1, or the bubbling spring. We'll get into more of that later. So I'm engaging into the center of my foot from here, and then I'm twisting above to bring movement into my spine. Now, the way that this is servicing my spine is by pumping water into my disc spaces. So you know that the spine is made up of vertebrae stacked on one on top of the other, and in between each one you have a disc. That disc is largely a pad. It has some structural integrity, hopefully, that keeps the discs from, or keeps the vertebra from moving too much one on top of the other. So you got two vertebrae and in between is a disc. Now over time, with enough gravity, that disc is just getting flattened every step. There's a little more water pushed out of it. So hopefully with every step you can get a little twist, and that twist is a little compression on one side but a little lift on the other. So you draw in a drop of water, draw in a drop of water, draw in a drop of water. That's why one of my favorite things is a little lift with each. This is what I call a lumberjack. You can sing the song. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. So you think about these people, I mean all of us humans, so many years, we moved around really well for a long period of time, and we did a lot of twisting. And you know, whether that was like running a scythe, there's a nice little action, right? Scythe has a handle like this and a handle like this, right? So the scythe, that's a good one, get some elbow action into it. We twist with, you know, walking with buckets of water. If you step over a rock, you twist it around it. It was like this. It wasn't just like, you know, okay, I'm carrying a briefcase and I'm going like this down the sidewalk, or I'm running like this. You know, people jog. Sorry, I hate to tell you, I am very anti-jogging. Jogging is just barely lifting your foot and pushing back like this. I mean, it gets really mundane. How about run? Get your knees up. Yeah, there still isn't that much twisting, but getting your knees up and running. And then walk. And when you walk, twist, right? Get some of this going. Come on, guys. You got hips. Go ahead and use them. Right? When you're walking. Right? PhD walking. We'll go into PhD walking later. That'll be a whole nother video. Anyway, back to basics. Lumberjack. Right? Pumping water. Lifting. Getting that water to be drawn up into that disc space. That's the whole idea. Now there's other benefits like the facets. You can look it up online. Facets, not engaging with each other too hard so that you don't have that type of back pain, and you just get generally better nervous system flow. It all goes together, and it's all about the water. So you got to drink a good bit of water. Hydrating things like Body Balance, like kombucha, you know. Look around, Body Balance aloe vera juice with some seaweed in it. For extra minerals. Minerals are really good for your back. Okay. Man, I feel better. So, let's look at that stance again. Let's look at it from the side. Okay? This is what I'm calling a modified horse stance. Or it can be called three-circle stance. It's all from the martial arts, or, you know, Tai Chi. And you can see my knees are not forward of my toes. This is not what you're looking for. This is hard on you. This is easier. I'm engaging in my inner thighs because I'm engaging into the proper part of the center of my foot. If I'm back on my heels, I'm losing a huge amount of dynamic. If I'm here, I've got power, I've got plenty of range of motion. And this, okay, let's look at that into the sitting. It's just like that. There's not much difference. You can see the knees don't move that far forward. Now, my feet are very straightforward. Let me give you that view here. Okay, knees forward. Now, if you look at horse stance in the martial arts, you'll often see this. I mean, you'll almost always see this. Okay, this is fine for somebody that's really mega here and here and wants to be that way. This is kind of hard on my hips. Also, we tend to be so externally rotated in our day-to-day, shuffling around the kitchen like this, right, around the office. How about we come into center, get our inner thighs going, which are the most woefully undeveloped muscle in modern man. I mean, just because they ought to be strong and dynamic, and they're usually not very much there at all. And again, settling in, the weight comes into here, let me turn again. My belly's relaxed, happy belly, relaxed back. I'm maybe 5 degrees forward, you tell me. Right? If I squat down, I don't bend forward, I just bounce up and down. This is another exercise, which you could call sitting in the rocking chair, but I like to call riding a motorcycle on the trails. Used to do that a lot as a kid. Bouncing up and down, you let that bike bounce under you, and you're just kind of gliding above it. It can be going over all kinds of rocks and ruts, and you're just like feathering the throttle and floating above it. If you see motorcycle riders, they've got some good solid inner thighs. So again, and they're not bending like this, they're dropping their butt down onto the seat and back up again. Okay, this is also called the kangaroo squat. One that my Aunt Katie came up with. She used to teach Tai Chi to prisoners in Belize. Very inspiring. So, this is a nice, easy way to really engage and be getting some strength where you need it.